8 o'clock. If you are just joining us, you're watching BBC News this evening with breaking news. You're watching with Anita McVeigh and Jane Hill. Just in the last half an hour, the head of the Metropolitan Police, Sir Paul Stephenson, has resigned over the News of the World hacking scandal.
He denies any wrongdoing, but was criticised for hiring Neil Wallace, a former News of the World executive editor, who was arrested last week as a part-time PR consultant for a year up until September 2010. Sir Paul made this statement a short time ago.
I have this afternoon informed the Palace, Home Secretary and the Mayor of my intention to resign as Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Service. I've taken this decision as a consequence of the ongoing speculation and accusations relating to the Met's links with News International at a senior level, and in particular in relation to Mr Neil Wallace, who, as you know, was arrested in connection with Operation Wheating last week. First, I want to say what an enormous privilege it has been for me to lead this great organisation that is the Met. The recent example of the heroism and bravery of Met officers in chasing armed suspects involving the shooting of one of my officers is typical, but is in danger of being eclipsed by the ongoing debate about relationships between senior officers and the media. This can never be right. Crime levels in the Met are at a 10-year low. You have seen the Met at its glorious and unobtrusive best on the occasion of the royal wedding. The professional and restrained approach to unexpected levels of violence in recent student demonstrations. The vital ongoing work to secure the safety of the capital from terrorism. The reductions in homicide and continuing increased levels of confidence as the jewel in our crown of safer neighbourhoods serve the needs of Londoners. I am deeply proud of the achievements of the Met since I became Commissioner. Let me turn to phone hacking and my relationship with Neil Wallace. I want to put the record straight. I met Mr Wallace in 2006. The purpose of that meeting was, as with other journalists, to represent the context of policing and to better inform the public debate carried out through the media on policing issues. I had no knowledge of or involvement in the original investigation into phone hacking in 2006 that successfully led to the conviction and imprisonment of 2 men. I had no reason to believe this was anything other than a successful operation. I was unaware that there were any other documents in our possession of the nature that have now emerged. I have acknowledged the statement by John Yates that if he had known then what he knows now, he would have done things differently. My relationship with Mr Wallace continued over the following years, and the frequency of our meetings is a matter of public record. The record clearly accords with my description of the relationship as one maintained for professional purposes and an acquaintance. In 2009, the Met entered into a contractual arrangement with Neil Wallace, terminating in 2010. I played no role in the letting or management of that contract. I have heard suggestions that we must have suspected the alleged involvement of Mr Wallace in phone hacking. Let me say unequivocally that I did not and had no reason to do so. I do not occupy a position in the world of journalism. I had no knowledge of the extent of this disgraceful practice, or indeed to the extent of it, and the repugnant nature of the selection of victims that is now emerging.
Sir Paul Stephenson there announcing his resignation as Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police just a short time ago. And we